We are building something more intelligent than ourselves. But are we becoming wiser in the process? Artificial intelligence is no longer just a tool, it's a mirror. It reflects not only what we know, but who we are becoming. This isn't a technical tutorial, it's a meditation on ethics, power, in the future of consciousness. Because how we approach intelligence today may define civilization tomorrow. My name is Artem, and on this channel, we explore the space between science and soul, between systems and meaning. If this content resonates with you, consider subscribing. This is a space for reflection, not reaction, for depth, not destruction. So, the first topic for today is intelligence without wisdom. And how do you think? Is smart is the same as wise? So nowadays we have many AI systems that look smart, but are they wise as well? Yeah, they can write essays, compose music, generate code, and imitate empathy. Yeah, some people using AI even for emotional support, but they don't understand any of it. They are pattern engines, not conscious beings. As far as I know how technology works, and when we talk about neural networks, first of all, it's a technology. It's a technology that works like calculator or computer. So it's actually running on computers, maybe on some specific electronic devices and some hardware, but it's still computers. That's algorithm that works in a specific way, and it looks like it is smart, but it's still just an algorithm. I would like to quote Stuart Russell, professor of computer science at UC Berkeley and leading AI safety researcher. The most powerful technologies tend to be the most dangerous, not because they hate us, but because they don't care. Indifference at scale is more dangerous than any emotion. So I just want to repeat this question. AI is smart. Yeah, maybe, but is it wise enough? And I see that nowadays, as we are using it more often, sometimes we don't even understand that we are dealing with AI. So unfortunately, all social media are nowadays using AI, but how many people understand that it's using AI and for what? But let's talk about it a bit later. Are you aware about how often are you dealing with AI and what kind of consequences of it. Yeah, please write in the comments, what do you think? How often do you deal with AI? How often do you work with AI? And what is this? What is it for you? Okay, let's go to the second questions. Echoes of the atomic age. Yeah, yesterday we were talking about nuclear energy and all the advantages and disadvantages it bring to us. And AI is a new nuclear, silent, powerful, and irreversible. And if in 1945 we split the atom, today we are splitting the mind and creating intelligence without responsibility. And this is the biggest concern of many bright minds. So without responsibility, again, without ethics, this technology could be used in a very different way. So how aware are we about how we using it? And again, what kind of consequences will we have? Here I would like to quote Paul Virilio, the French cultural theorist and philosopher of technology. When you invent the ship, you also invent the shipwreck. So will we use this power to build light or cast longer shadows? So this knowledge is very bold with nuclear energy, as we were discussing previously, that it can bring us good and bad on the same time. And this is the same story. And I also suppose we are just underestimate the kind of threat, because it's also invisible. It just coming to our life, and sometimes we don't even understand how much it is already present in our lives. And how do you think? Is it better to at least learn a bit about it, or just let it go? What do you think? What kind of threat and risks are coming together with this quite powerful tool? Yeah, so artificial intelligence definitely can solve a lot of routine work. But again, it can bring a lot of distraction, and we will talk about it also a bit later. But yeah, as we agreed previously, let's start this conversation. And I very appreciate if you will write comments about what do you think, and probably you have your own experience and can share it with other people as well. And here I also want to talk about how it can be used in different societies. And the next topic is that in different societies like capitalism or communism, it can be used in very different ways. Yeah, the technology is the same, but because of the society structure and values that they have, and the style and the culture, it could be used in a very different way. And this battle for intelligence has already begun. It's geopolitical and it is ideological. In the West, AI is driven by capital and speed. In the East, by control and surveillance. So the same technologies, but different priorities. Either way, it concentrates power. And I just so surprised how much money now invested into it, and it's just crazy numbers. But still, as we already talked previously, I don't think that we should be frightened. I don't think we should scare. We need to be aware. And because we are already in this technological singularity, it's very important to learn how to deal with it. So, what do you think? What is the main difference of AI usage in different societies? Here I also want to quote Shoshana Zuboff, professor emerita at Harvard Business School and author of The Age of the Surveillance Capitalism. The great danger of capitalism is not that it makes people poor, but that it gives great power to those who control the tools. So intelligence is becoming the new infrastructure of control. Who decides what you see, know, or believe? So, in fact, I see a very dangerous trend, and in some way it even doesn't matter from which side it's growing. It just will bring the same consequences. And this threat is that if you remember how it was evolving, so the capitalism nowadays became, I should say that the capitalism became too efficient. And because of it, money and power are even more concentrated, became more concentrated. Yeah. So in capitalism, it's bring even more capital and even bigger speed, higher speed. Yeah. And it just give even more control in authoritative societies. But in the same way, it just increases distance between rich and poor, and it just creates a very explosive environment. So if you remember what was happened in Russian Empire on the beginning of 20th century, so when this distance became dramatic, then revolutions happened. So capitalism, so the capitalism societies should be very aware about it, because even I'm not sure that even basic income will solve all its issues. And yeah, you probably have heard about the concept of virtual reality societies, and I think it's another utopia that's finally can also bring to the explosive consequences. So we should be very aware about it, but we will talk about it a bit later. And in communism, of course, with such kind of tools, the possibility of changes decreasing as well. So in fact, yeah, AI can bring a lot of possibilities, but in the same way, it also brings a lot of risks as well. What kind of so what can you also compare between AI usage in capitalism and communism societies? Like, okay, probably we don't have communism in pure form anymore, because even in China nowadays they have two systems in one country. So if this message resonates with you so far, I invite you to like the video and leave a comment below. That's how we bring awareness, and not just the algorithm, but to each other. And of course, as YouTube also use a lot of AI technologies for ranking and popularization of some video content. So I also encourage you to do it. So let's grow our community together. Okay, now also our next very related topic is that, yeah, especially for capitalism and as well for communism, labor and automation, and what actually we can expect in post-work society. So I believe that from historical point of view, AI is another chapter. So if the previous industrial revolution made automation for physical production, AI automate intellectual work. But will AI replace jobs or reframe what it means to be human? Goldman Sachs predicts 300 plus million jobs could be disrupted by automation. And it's not only about AI, but AI increasing the speed of automation, because robotics also can be boosted by AI. And we may soon need to ask, what is dignity without labor? So in fact, it is very interesting, because on On the one side, nobody wants hard work, like working all the day on some routine tasks. On the other hand, or on the other side, life without any purpose or meaning is also senseless. So sometimes people like to work because it brings some meaning and purpose for their lives. So yeah, of course, the age is probably the goodwill. So when we like our work, of course it's great. So the best job is the hobbies that also bring money, paid hobby. Yeah. So we do something and people pay money for it because it brings us purpose, it brings us recognition, it brings us joy. So everything, it's amazing when you love what you do. On the other hand, nobody wants to work every day just to survive. So in that case, I believe that if AI will create a reality where you don't need to work anymore just to survive, that's great, that's amazing. But if AI will take all the purpose from us, that's probably the worst scenario. And here I would like to quote Arthur Clarke, British science fiction writer and futurist, co-author of 2001 A Space Odyssey. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. So we are not just automating work, we are reshaping the human condition. And it's also, again, that should be very consciousness process. We should be aware about why we automate something and what kind of consequences will we have. What do you expect from all this automation? Or let's just try to focus our minds on what we would like to have from all this process, because I suppose it's in the reality where we right now, when we even cannot read or watch or learn everything what we already have. I mean, all the knowledge, all the information, all the data. It's just became impossible even to process it. So the only thing that's we have is that we can just focus. That's why social media are using AI to catch your attention, my attention, our attention, and that's the main field of competition. Yeah, so only our focus could bring us to the point where we would like to go. What do you think? How do you feel? what kind of reality do you want to have? Consciousness with calculation. Yeah, that's a very controversial topic and one of the unique marketing feature and selling point when AI developers position their AI as new form of life and consciousness. But I would like you to calm a bit. It's still very stupid. Or just to pretend to be very stupid. But I believe in the first. I still believe that AI is not as clever as we think of it. Yeah, it can make a lot of interesting stuff, and yeah, sometimes it looks like magic, but still, can AI ever be conscious? And what if it never needs to be? Maybe just another kind of calculator, but for text processing. AI, yeah, maybe not only text, but also sounds and video. Yeah, it brings a lot of distraction. It brings a lot of low quality content. Yeah, I hate when people are using AI right now. Yeah, you can still use AI, and I remember Robert. No, not some well-known entrepreneur was asking, is it ethical to use AI for writing a book where you have your name as also? So I believe that we can find this ethical boundary, and it's very simple. If you already have your own thoughts and content, and you use AI just to process it and just make all the tiny editorial updates, then I definitely okay. What do you think? What is an ethical way to use AI for content creation, text, images, video, sounds? I believe that in some point we will find this critical element. So AI mimics emotions, it predicts patterns, but it doesn't feel, care, or suffer, because I believe that this kind of characteristics could belong only to the live creature, because this concept of time, so we have a lot of emotions just because we can worry, yeah, we can feel fear or be anxious or be happier or have a joy or whatever, because of the concept of limit of concept of limit, because we understand that the day is limited, the time is limited. So in that case we feel all the emotion and sometimes do some irrational things because we just feel that time is passing and we should try something before it's not too late. And when AI, for example, it just have this different nature. Yeah, that's where I really like Federico Fagin, and the physicist and inventor of the first commercial microprocessor, and now a philosopher of consciousness. He has a great quote: consciousness cannot be simulated. It's not computation. It is the ground of being itself. And as well, this is a very good point of intersection of consciousness and physics and informatics and quantum physics, because very often our emotions, our mind, is the quantum state of the whole reality. We cannot experience, we are experience unique emotions because of the state of the reality, state of the universe. That's why our emotions are so unique. For every person, it's unique. Yeah, sometimes it could be similar, but still they unique because it's happened in a different places, different time, different conditions, and they all unique. Yeah, sometimes we can experience some events that are happening in some place, and we can feel similar emotions, but still they are different because of who we are. Another great quote of David Halmers, Australian philosopher and cognitive scientist, coiner the term the hard problem of consciousness. Machines will never have consciousness. The real danger is that we might stop using ours. Yeah, and that's very, very bold words. So, and it's another danger. Yeah, the true danger is not artificial intelligence, but artificial humanity. Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective. Just let's try to imagine. So, the industrialization made human like robots, because sometimes in this mechanical type of organization, people were just a function. Yeah, so sometimes, and then it doesn't matter, is it in capitalism or communism, people were just a function for big mechanical organizations because of the materialism ideology, and that was very terrible, as the person with emotions was just used as a tool, as a function on some industrial plant, and that's terrible. And I'm really happy that people don't need anymore to work so hard sometimes, not everywhere, unfortunately. And again, now with AI, what kind of threat I see from the point of view of consciousness is that if we will use it too much and too often, and if we will just use what AI tell us, then the question, who we are, who am I, who are you, and that is scary. That is scary when it seems like you are talking to human, to person, but if it's fully powered by AI, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, so that's why we should be very aware about it. Okay, what do you think? That's very important to stay ourselves and recognize our uniqueness, our diversity. That's our nature. Yeah, that's what makes us human, first of all. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's go next. The psychological cost. So AI is not only changing systems, it's rewiring minds. That's exactly what what we were talking about. It's that's this thread that's very, very real. And what we are seeing now, it's a collapse of attention because of the social media that's using AI just to catch and grab our attention, our focus, so the time can just flow away. And yeah, we just lose our time, we just lose our attention, we just lose our focus. The second one is delegation of thought, when we are just not using our own mind to deal with something, with some task. Yeah, it's again, yeah, it's good when you're using it as an additional tool, as a helping tool, yeah. But when it's became a main tool, then again, just imagine that it will be turned off in some moment. What will you do? What will stay with you? That's why it's still very important to train our minds, train our possibility, our capacity, our thinking, our brain. And of course, dopamine loops from algorithmic feedback. Yeah, so it's another perspective from neurotransmitter side that's you don't even need to use drugs to have this dopamine loop. So we can just watch some social media and just have this dopamine very cheap, yeah, cheap dopamine, and just consume these funny videos or maybe scary videos, etc. So it just artificial. Yeah, it's just so. How often do you feel like you lack of attention, focus, and when you just absorbed by it? Here probably we need to quote American biologist, sociobiologist, and philosopher of human nature Edward Wilson, we are drowning in information while starving for wisdom. Yeah, so I should say that reading books sometimes, not sometimes, but very often, more efficient way to learn something. That's why personally I have habit to read every day. I tried, to make it more than less. What do you can recommend how we can decrease our attention deficit and dopamine loops? If we surrender attention, we surrender agency, and that's what's for me it's the biggest concern. And unfortunately, as I see, as less people educated, as more they became dependent. At least I hope that during usage, they can learn something. But when you are not aware about what's happening, then probably it will not help much. What do you think? Just write in the comments below. What do you think? So, the last topic for today is the two futures. And this isn't just about AI. It's more about us. So the first one, AI becomes a partner, enabling collective wisdom, solving global challenges. Or the second, AI becomes a tool of control, automating inequality, addiction, and disconnection. Yeah. And again, the state of mind. That's what I will repeat probably every time, because that's, I suppose, one of the most important part of our consciousness. Yeah, so because reality that we are enabling and creating very dependent of our minds and our thoughts and our words and actions, and because of it we should focus in our meditation our energy, our attention towards the future that we really want to achieve. So of course, in this situation, what will you choose? Enabling collective wisdom, solving global challenges, automating inequality, addiction, and disconnection. John Shaw, American political theorist and futurist. The future is not some place we are going to, but one we are creating. How does it resonate with you? We are not observers. We are designers of the human future. That's exactly what I was telling my friends in Kiev Hackerspace when we were gathering in our community meetings. That's exactly what we were discussing. Or we can just observe what is happening, or be those which create these events in reality. By the way, this is what Aristotle and Plato also were discussing in their works. We are designers of the human future. So let's make a conclusion. It is not enough to have a good mind. The main thing is to use it well. How do you think? Who said these words? René Descartes, French philosopher, mathematician, and founder of modern rationalism. Yeah, AI will not destroy us. At least this is what it says. But our indifference might. Yeah. And another perspective that I want to bring here is that that's what I do in my company as well. So AI is a tool. And now when we are teaching AI, it's very important who teach AI and with which knowledge and data and information. Of course, if you will teach AI with some low quality data and knowledge, then of course it will be not very wise. So this is also our responsibility to teach AI not only the bad side of humans, and maybe because of it, it will see danger from us. And if it's our creation, okay. If it's our future, then what we will teach, that's what we will have. It's like with a child, yeah? If you will teach the child with wisdom, then it probably will grow into something, into someone good and become a great person. And if you will, or be indifferent, or will even be bad parents, then of course it can become a bad person, and we will have a lot of troubles, and not only we, but also in other people. So this is not a moment for panic, it's a moment for presence and responsibility. Okay, so I'm Artem, and I believe that reflection, not reaction, is how we build a better world. If something in this episode resonates with you, I'd be honored if you subscribed. Join this journey and your voice. Let's think this through together. Drop your thoughts in the comments and like, subscribe, and most of all, stay conscious. Stay conscious. And I believe AI won't destroy us, but our indifference might. Peace.